If someone's doing this to you, they're emotionally manipulating you. And sign number 3, it's so twisted that by the time you realize it's happening, you're already doubting your own reality. Let's break down exactly what manipulators do so you can spot it before it's too late. Here's what most people don't understand. Emotional manipulation doesn't look like manipulation at first. It looks like love. It looks like care. That's exactly why it works. Studies show that people stay in manipulative relationships an average of 2 years before they even realize something's wrong. Why? Because manipulators are experts at making you feel like the problem. But once you know these 5 signs, you'll see through it immediately. Sign number 1, they rewrite history to make you question your memory. This is called gaslighting, but here's how it actually plays out. You'll have a clear memory of a conversation or event, and they'll tell you it never happened, or they'll twist what was said until you're second-guessing yourself. Real example, you tell them, "Last week you said you'd help me move," and they respond with, "I never said that. You're remembering wrong. You always do this." Now, suddenly, the conversation isn't about them breaking a promise, it's about your bad memory. Here's the psychology. They're not trying to win the argument. They're training you to distrust yourself. Once you doubt your own mind, you'll start relying on their version of reality. That's control. Sign number 2, they use your emotions as weapons against you. Manipulators study you. They learn what makes you tick, what you're insecure about, what you fear. Then they weaponize it. Real example. You're upset about something they did, so you try to have a calm conversation. Suddenly, they start crying, or they shut down completely, or they say something like, "I can't believe you'd attack me like this when you know I'm going through so much right now." Watch what just happened. Your valid concern just became you being the bad guy. They flipped the script so fast that now you're comforting them, and your original issue never gets addressed. The insight: if every time you bring up a problem, you end up apologizing, that's not conflict resolution, that's manipulation. Sign number 3, they create dependency by isolating you from your support system. This one's subtle because it doesn't happen overnight. They don't say, "Stop seeing your friends." Instead, they make it difficult, uncomfortable. Real example. Every time you make plans with friends, they pick a fight right before you leave, or they guilt trip you. "I guess I'll just be alone tonight." Or they subtly criticize your friends. "Don't you think Sarah is kind of negative? I just worry about her influence on you." Over months, you start canceling plans to avoid the drama. You distance yourself from people who actually care about you. And suddenly, they're your only source of validation, advice, and emotional support. Here's why this is dangerous. Once you're isolated, you have no outside perspective. No one to tell you, "Hey, this isn't normal." You're trapped in their reality bubble, and that's exactly where they want you. Sign number 5, they give you just enough to keep you hoping. This is intermittent reinforcement, and it's the same psychological principle that makes gambling addictive. They treat you poorly 80% of the time, but that 20%, they're amazing, loving, the person you fell for. Real example, after a week of coldness and criticism, they suddenly surprise you with flowers and an apology. They're attentive, sweet, vulnerable. You think, "See, this is the real them. They do care." But here's the trap. You're not falling in love with who they are. You're getting addicted to the relief of the good moments after the bad ones. Normal, healthy love doesn't feel like winning the lottery every few weeks. It feels consistent. The psychology? Those random moments of kindness keep you hooked because your brain is desperately trying to predict when the next one will come. You stay because you're chasing that high, and they know it. Sign number 5, they make you responsible for their emotions and happiness. This is the most insidious one because it masquerades as depth and intimacy. Real example, they say things like, "You're the only person who understands me. Without you, I don't know what I'd do." Or when they're upset, "You're the reason I'm feeling this way. If you really loved me, you wouldn't make me feel this way." Sounds romantic?
It's not. It's a trap, because now you're responsible for managing their mental state. If they're upset, it's your fault. If they're angry, you caused it. You're not their partner anymore, you're their emotional life support system. The reality check? You can support someone, but you can't be someone's entire reason for existing. That's not love. That's dependency. And it gives them unlimited power to blame you for anything they feel. If even one of these signs hit home, trust that feeling. Your gut is telling you something is off because something is off. Manipulation works by making you doubt yourself, so the fact that you're questioning it means you're already breaking free. Now, here's what you need to watch next. My video on how manipulators choose their targets and the exact traits they look for. Because once you understand why they picked you, you'll understand how to make sure it never happens again. That video breaks down the psychology they use in the selection process, and it'll change how you see these relationships forever.